The Earth Council chamber had not received a non-terrestrial transmission in 40 years. The one that broke that silence came from nowhere, and from someone. It cut through encrypted diplomatic channels, ignoring every security protocol as if they were suggestions. A voice from a Coffin Earth had launched into the void 2 centuries ago.
Earth Council, I am Joshua Vermeer. I have returned.
The name struck the chamber like a physical blow. Counselor Adeyemi, who had studied the sealed war files, felt her blood go cold.
That's impossible. He died. We killed him.
I am not dead, Counselor. I am very much alive, and I bring a gift. The Vermeer Stellar Reach. 1 billion souls await your decision.
The holographic screen flickered, revealing behind him the sarcophagus flagship and a fleet in perfect geometric formation. Teal lights like eyes in the dark.
I have forgiven Earth. I request reintegration as a sovereign Terran successor state. I am patient. You have time to decide.
The transmission ended. The silence that followed was heavier than any war declaration Adeyemi had ever heard.
He's made us choose between legitimizing a war criminal and annihilating 1 billion innocents.
The council convened in emergency session. Vermeer's sealed war file, a ghost from 2 centuries past, now glowed on every terminal. The file detailed atrocities. Planetary blockades, genetic purges, the slaughter of refugees. By any legal standard, he was a monster.
But a monster commanding 1 billion loyal souls and a fleet that could crack our defenses in hours.
The chamber split. Hardliners demanded a preemptive strike. Diplomats urged negotiation. The volume rose with the temperature.
If we attack, we become the aggressors the galaxy already fears, and we will lose.
A counselor slammed a fist. He is a war criminal, not a head of state. We do not negotiate with threats.
Excise him. He survived exile. He built an empire. Our justice failed once. What makes you think our military will succeed?
Adeyemi rose. Her voice cut through the noise.
He has planned this for 2 centuries. Rejection could be the first shot in a war we are not prepared to win.
The session adjourned without consensus. Vermeer's ghost now walked every corridor of the council. The follow-up transmission arrived in the small hours of the council's night session. It was not a threat. It was a tour. The Vermeer Stellar Reach. 1 billion citizens across 12 star systems, unified under a living god.
You exiled a criminal, but I returned an emperor. My people built this with their own hands.
Images flickered. Orbital shipyards, Tannan workers in disciplined assembly, worlds terraformed from barren rock, the fleet, identical black and gold warships in geometric perfection, made Earth's defense grid look obsolete. In the council chamber, the silence was that of people staring into an abyss that stared back with teal-lit patience. A counselor whispered, "He's not asking to come home. He's showing us that home is wherever he decides it is." The data included a cultural index. Tannan, Creole, hymns to Vermeer, children's drawings of the emperor. Not propaganda, devotion. Adeyemi closed her terminal. The room felt smaller. The options now were surrender or suicide, and in the shadows of the chamber, one thought crystallized. Assassination. 2 centuries earlier, the Earth Council had faced the same man in chains, not in a hologram. Joshua Vermeer, then 42, stood before the tribunal. The charges: genocide, bioweapon deployment, planetary starvation. He showed no remorse. The prosecution demanded death. But the council feared a martyr. Instead, they built a cryo-coffin, its fusion battery designed to last an eternity. They launched it into uncharted space, a living tomb with no destination. The vote had been unanimous. Exile without parole, beyond any map. The coffin drifted into the void, its occupant frozen. The matter considered closed. 2 centuries later, the council now understood. They had not executed a man. They had seeded an empire.
We didn't kill him. We forged him.
The ghost in the machine had been made with their own hands, and now he had come home to haunt them in a sealed committee room, 5 counselors bypassed protocol. Adeyemi was not invited. A 6-person stealth team was selected from the Black Ops roster. Their target, the sarcophagus flagship. They would breach, locate Vermeer, and end the threat Earth could not legally touch. Aboard the flagship, Joshua sat on his command throne, the teal lights pulsing in slow rhythm.
Emperor, the security network detects a silent incursion. Earth moves against you.
I expected nothing less. They are only human, Kale. Fear makes them predictable.
Shall we intercept and neutralize the threat?
Number. Let them come. We will receive them with the courtesy they forgot to offer me.
The stealth team breached the flagship's outer hull, moving like ghosts in the dark passages. On the bridge, the red eye of the sarcophagus glowed faintly, and Joshua smiled. The stealth team never reached the bridge. Tannin soldiers materialized from the shadows, their movements synchronized and silent. Within seconds, all 6 were disarmed and restrained. The ship had known their every step.
You came to kill me, but I am not easy to kill, and I hold no grudge for your orders.
Joshua's voice was calm, almost gentle. He looked at their commander.
I have forgiven Earth. My medics treated your wounds. You are free to go.
He gestured to the guards, and the restraints were removed. Not in surrender, but in confidence.
Tell your council, I did not come for revenge. I came home.
A shuttle detached from the sarcophagus flagship, carrying the humiliated operatives, and a message no one expected.
He had them. He could have executed them and justified war. Why show mercy?
The failed assassination had backfired. Instead of a monster, they had exposed a puzzle. The Coffin drifted for decades, a silent speck in the void, until a Tannin survey ship found it. They were a pre-FTL species, curious and communal. They opened the coffin and revived the frozen human inside. Joshua Vermeer, aged but alive, stepped onto an alien world. He did not see primitives. He saw an opportunity. Within a generation, he was their philosopher, king. He taught them engineering, governance, and the art of devotion.
You are not slaves. You are my people, and together we will build a throne among the stars.
The Tannin had never known a leader like him. They chose to follow, and their world transformed. Within 80 years, he industrialized them. Factories rose from jungles, ships from dry docks. The Tannin sang his name. Over 2 centuries, the Vermeer stellar reach rose. 12 systems, 1 billion souls, all calling Joshua their living god. Their worship was not doctrine forced, but awe earned. They called him the architect of tomorrow, and they meant it. The coffin that was meant to be his grave became the cornerstone of an empire that now stared back at Earth. The council reconvened with the returned team's debrief. Joshua's mercy had transformed the mission's failure into a philosophical war zone. Some counselors saw a reformed leader. Others saw a viper who had learned patience. The debate split along old fault lines.
He spared them not out of weakness, but to force this very debate. We are dancing to his tune. He claims to have forgiven us, but can we forgive him? That is the question the galaxy will ask.
Leaked details of the assassination attempt had ignited public outrage, but also a dangerous admiration for Joshua's restraint. The atrocity files flickered on screens beside the Tannin's joyous hymns, 2 irreconcilable truths, both undeniably real.
He is neither monster nor saint. He is a mirror reflecting every sin we are too afraid to name.
The chamber fractured further. Hardliners invoked the dead. Pragmatists invoked the living. No side yielded ground.
We are deciding the fate of billions on the character of one man, a man we once condemned to eternal darkness.
The session adjourned with no resolution. Vermeer's patience had become a countdown, and the council could only wait. The council granted Joshua's request for a live address. His hologram materialized in the chamber, towering and aged, the red eye focused.
I do not deny my crimes. They are written in fire and blood. But the man you exiled was a tool of his time.
Adeyemi, watched his holographic hands gesture, and for a moment, she saw not a monster, but a survivor.
The Tannin gave me a second chance. I offer Earth the same, my empire as a gift, my people as your kin.
Behind him on his flagship, the viewport showed Earth's blue marble. The exile had never stopped watching.
He means it, or he means us to believe it. I can no longer tell the difference.
Forgive me, and let us build a future together, or refuse, and I will wait. I have learned the patience of empires.
The hologram faded. The chamber sat in stunned silence, his words hanging like a verdict.
He did not ask for a pardon. He asked for a home, and he just made it impossible to say no without becoming the villains.
No one responded. The decision was not yet made, but the moral ground had shifted. 2 days after the speech, a classified intelligence report reached the Council's inner circle. Its title, Psycho-Historical Anomalies in Tannin Cultural Evolution. The analysis suggested Tannin societal progression was unnaturally linear, as if guided by an external hand.
Psycho-historical manipulation. He didn't just lead them, he engineered their very consciousness.
The report was ambiguous. Correlation, not proof, but it cast a dark shadow over the joyful hymns and children's drawings.
If this is true, his entire empire is a lie built on mental chains, and we almost believed him.
Hardliners seized the report like a weapon. This was the evidence they needed to reject the Vermeer's plea, but Adeyemi noticed a footnote. The analysis had been funded by an anti-reintegration lobby group.
Is this genuine intelligence or a political smear? Every path is poisoned.
The doubt spread like a virus. Joshua's sincerity, once moving, now seemed calculated. The council was back at square one, but now with a new fear. What if the monster had been hiding in plain sight all along? The secure channel opened. Kale, commander of the Tannin Guard, stood before the council's holographic array.
We have evidence of psycho-historical manipulation. Does the Emperor deny it?
The Emperor does not deny guiding our civilization, but to call it manipulation is a lie born of fear.
Kale activated a data stream. Neural scans of 1 billion Tannin, all voluntary.
We are not puppets. We chose our path, and we choose it again every day.
The scans showed no abnormal conditioning. Each mind was its own.
If this is genuine, then his empire is built on true devotion, not chains.
Here is testimony from every Tannin world, unsolicited, unscripted.
You have given us much to consider. Perhaps we have been too quick to judge.
The mind control allegation collapsed under the weight of evidence. But Joshua's influence was undeniable. He had transformed a people not through coercion, but through a vision they embraced as their own. The council was left more uncertain than ever. The council session broke for private deliberation. In the corridors, the tone had shifted. Joshua's empire was no longer a phantom threat. It was a functioning civilization with laws, art, and 1 billion citizens.
He didn't conquer them, he lifted them. That is not the act of a monster.
A counselor from the pragmatic faction pulled up economic projections. Integration would double Earth's interstellar reach, a pragmatic counselor argued. We have a chance to absorb a stable, advanced polity without firing a shot. How many other empires offer that?
But at what cost to our morality? We would be partnering with a war criminal.
The hardliners remained unmoved, but their support was thinning.
Perhaps the greatest punishment we gave him was the forge that made him this, and now we must live with what we created.
The council began to view reintegration, not as surrender, but as a necessary evolution. No vote was called, yet the momentum had swung. The ghost was no longer haunting them. He was inviting them to walk with him. In a sealed bunker beneath the capital, the hardliners finalized their strike plan. Eliminate the sarcophagus flagship with a preemptive barrage. An encrypted alert reached Adeyemi's terminal. Unauthorized fleet mobilizations were underway, and the launch window was minutes away.
Fools. They're about to ignite a war we cannot win.
She found the ringleader in a corridor, voice shaking with fury. "You are committing treason," the hardliner sneered. "Treason is letting that monster set foot on Earth."
You'll kill us all. Do you think he left his flagship undefended while he waited?
She rushed to the council chamber, demanding the session be reopened. The plot was leaking into the open. Holographic manifests showed unsanctioned fleet deviations. The hardliner's secret was now public.
Arrest these conspirators. They would trade our survival for their pride.
The chamber divided. The immediate coup was foiled, but Earth now stood on a precipice. Joshua's patience would not be infinite. The intelligence reached Joshua's flagship within the hour. He had expected another stab, but not from the same fools twice.
I offered peace, and you answered with a bombardment. Earth has not changed.
He opened a public channel to the council. His voice was the winter of a long patience finally thinning.
Hand over the conspirators. All of them. You have 6 hours.
The ultimatum echoed in the chamber like a death knell. No negotiation, no forgiveness remaining.
He knows we didn't authorize this, but he no longer cares. The option of trust is gone. We must comply. He has the power to burn us, and now the justification he lacked before.
The council had no choice. The conspirators were arrested and prepared for extradition. Earth's leadership was shattered. Joshua received the transmission of compliance. He did not smile. He simply stared at Earth on his viewport. The 6-hour clock reset, but the damage was permanent. Trust had become a currency Earth could no longer afford. After the extradition, Joshua issued a new ultimatum. Accept reintegration within 24 hours, or face annihilation. The council appointed Adeyemi as sole negotiator. The weight of Earth rested on her next words.
I must find the man inside the Emperor, if he still exists.
She requested a private holographic channel. After a long moment, Joshua appeared. His red eye regarded her with unblinking patience.
Joshua, I am not your enemy. I am a woman who read your file and wept. Not for the monster, but for the boy who became him.
The boy died in a coffin, Counselor.
Number. He built an empire to prove he was still alive. I see him. Give him a chance to come home.
A silence stretched. Then, fractionally, the red eye dimmed.
12 hours. Vote immediately. I will wait no longer.
The channel closed. Adeyemi had won a reprieve, not victory. The final vote would now be forced. The 12-hour holographic clock filled every screen on Earth. It ticked down with the indifference of a star. Outside the council, the defense fleet stood on maximum alert, while protests and support rallies choked the capital streets. Inside the chamber, the council convened for the final binding session. No escape, no delay. Adeyemi rose. Every eye turned to her. She looked at the clock, then at the faces of those who would decide the fate of billions.
2 centuries ago, we sent a monster into the dark. The universe sent back an emperor. We cannot undo that, but we can choose not to repeat our mistake.
She paused, the weight of history in her voice.
Reject him and we guarantee war. Accept him and we risk something far more terrifying. The possibility that a man can change, that we can change. I choose that risk.
A long silence. Then the voting system activated. Each counselor's choice would be sealed until the tally was complete. Adeyemi closed her eyes. The galaxy waited for the numbers that would define an era. The tally ignited the central hologram. Acceptance. By a margin of 2 votes, the message reached Joshua's flagship in real time. He received it without movement. A statue carved from patience.
Then we are one people again.
Across the fleet, the red eye dimmed and weapon signatures faded. The armada became a caravan. Adeyemi opened her eyes. The chamber erupted, but she heard only silence.
We chose the impossible. Now we must survive it.
Joshua's fleet commenced approach. No attack vectors, no threat, just the slow, inevitable gravity of homecoming. Earth's defense grid stood down, its weapons silent for the first time since the ultimatum began. Across the planet, the countdown clock dissolved into a single word, pulsing gently. The coffin had opened. Earth braced for whatever crawled out. The sarcophagus flagship docked at the orbital station with a silence that felt like judgment. Its black hull absorbed the light. A single shuttle peeled away and plunged into atmosphere. The first Vermeer vessel to taste Earth's sky in 2 centuries, the shuttle set down at the Council Plaza. The ramp extended with a mechanical groan that silenced the crowd. Joshua Vermeer stepped out. The same man, aged 2 centuries, stood under the same sun that had exiled him.
Welcome home, Emperor Vermeer. Earth has waited a long time.
Longer than you know, Counselor. But I have learned to be patient with time.
Their hands met. Cameras captured it. A handshake across 2 centuries. A treaty written in silent pressure. Joshua's red eye scanned the crowd. 1 billion viewers watching across the reach. 1 billion more on Earth. He did not smile. He simply nodded, as if acknowledging a truth only he could see. The exile was over. The Emperor had come home, and the galaxy would never be the same. The integration ceremony filled the Grand Assembly Hall with light and silence. Flags of Earth and the Vermeer Reach hung side by side. Joshua stood at the podium, his black and gold uniform catching the light. The red eye tracked the delegates with ancient patience.
Today, 2 peoples become one. My journey from a coffin to this chamber is proof that exile can become coronation.
Adeyemi stiffened. The words were reconciliation, but the cadence was edict.
I did not return to rule, but to serve. Yet service and sovereignty are often twin stars.
He is already rewriting the terms.
The treaty was signed, Joshua's first, then the Council's. Each stroke sealed the fate of billions behind a paper-thin promise. The Assembly applauded. The galaxy watched, and in the applause a faint echo. The patience of empires.
I have time. Now, so do we all.
Peace had arrived, wearing the face of the entombed. No one knew if the coffin had opened, or if the galaxy had walked inside. Weeks passed. Tannin envoys walked Earth's streets. Human delegations toured the Reach. Integration was real and unsettling in the council chamber. Joshua worked from a seat among them, his influence spreading with every decision he advised on. Adeyemi watched him, seeing the slow accumulation of power behind a patient smile. She requested a private audience. No holograms this time. A closed room, 2 chairs, and the truth.
You told me you forgave Earth. But what comes after forgiveness, Joshua?
I have forgiven Earth, but forgiveness does not mean forgetting. I am patient. I have time.
Adeyemi felt the words like a closing door. The room grew colder. The red eye burned steady. The Emperor's patience was not peace. It was certainty. He had come home. But home was a throne, and he was just beginning to sit. Months bled into years. The Earth Vermeer state stabilized, but cultural tensions simmered beneath a fragile peace. Joshua had become a permanent fixture in Terran politics. Advisor, diplomat, shadow. But tonight, he was alone. He stood on his bridge, the sarcophagus flagship silent around him, and gazed at the blue marble he had not seen for 2 centuries.
They gave me a coffin. I gave them an empire. They still don't know which is worse.
The words hung in the recycled air, heard by no one but the ghosts of his past. Outside the hull, the fleet maintained its perfect formation, 1 billion souls awaiting his next command. He did not give one. Not tonight. Tonight, he simply watched, patient as stone. The galaxy had been given an empire. It still didn't know if it had been given a peace. In the silence of the coffin-turned throne, the Emperor waited. He had time. He always did. On the Tannin homeworld, a high priest ascended the steps of the Grand Temple. The congregation of thousands fell silent. Gray faces turned upward in holy anticipation. The priest's voice boomed. The Emperor has returned to the land of the dead, as it was written. He shall unite all under his eternal rule. The crowd's response was a single intake of breath, then a fervent cry, then a fervent cry. The patience of the Vermeer has no end. The priest's final words echoed. Thousands knelt as one. A tide of devotion crashing over the temple stone. A hologlyph of the red eye ignited above the altar, pulsing with the heartbeat of the faithful. The image held for a long moment, then slowly faded, leaving only that unblinking red glow. And then, darkness,